Tynee Talks right here. We gon' talk about it right here. We gon' talk about everything you like. I'ma make it real clear. It's Tynee Talks right here. We gon' talk about it right here. I'ma talk about everything you like. I'ma make it real clear, cause it's Tynee Talks. And I'ma talk about it. Yeah, cause it's Tynee Talks.
Sexy note.
And I'ma talk about it. Hey. Welcome to this episode of the Tynee Talks podcast. Remember, Tynee Talks is a podcast that educates and entertains. Tynee Talks and you listen, period. Today's episode is about hair stylist etiquette, your hairdresser, your hairstylist, beauty industry, and all that jazz. We'll be talking about, what clients and stylists feel from a client perspective and from a professional perspective. This topic is near and dear to me because experts with me on today. I have Corinthian Carouthers. And Corinthian is the owner of Creative Hair School of Calvin House in Corinthian. I have Jiobahn Bush, who is a professional and celebrity hair. I also have Shauntele Harvey, who is the owner of Bundles Luxury Hair in Farmington Branch, Texas. So, welcome to the show, ladies.
Hi.
Hey. I got on my Flint versus everybody shirt because Flint has Flint versus everybody, period, on top of period.
I just want to start off by saying I think the Midwest got the best beauty industry professionals anyway.
I can tell you got to unmute your mic, boo. I think it's facts too. Like last night, this show is probably going to air in the spring, but that's okay. I was watching the Wendy Williams biopic yesterday. Hair was trash the whole time. Like I went and looked at old Wendy Williams from like the early 90s. Her hair was just horrible. And I was like, she should have went to a Flint hairstylist. Because one thing about Flint and Detroit, we don't play about hair in the beauty industry.
Oh, no. We definitely got our own flavor.
For sure. So before we get started on this topic, I want everybody to know where it came from. So Jiobahn, Celebrity Nail Tech, tell them what you do.
Actually, it was one of my customers, and we were trying to find her a stylist, and she was like, I'm having such a problem. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna help you out. So we started going through stuff, and we started contacting people, and the stuff that was happening was just ridiculous. I had never, ever seen no stuff like this in my whole life, and I've been in the beauty industry for 20-some years now, and so I'm on both sides of it. I'm a active participant, you know what I'm saying?
For
and
sure.
I'm a patron, so I understand. And I was like, we need to talk about it. I ain't gonna name drop because ain't nobody gonna help me fight out here in Dallas.
I will.
But I'll go ahead and okay.
We got you.
Versus
Okay.
everybody.
Well, that's it. Then we name drop it. That's just what it is then.
Wait a minute, I got a professional job besides
Okay.
this. Okay, but if we do it low key, tell me low key.
I'll tell you low. I'll drop it all below.
Drop it all below.
Oh.
So the gag is, she said, she's a professional and a participant, but the girls are upset lately with beauty hair professionals, and that's why I had to have the beauty industry professionals on to maybe give their side of the story. And so before we get into that, Corinthian, I call her Twinkle, y'all. So everybody knows her as Twinkle.
Twink.
So Twinkle, tell us how you got into the beauty hair care industry.
Well, for the specific reasons that we're on this platform today was why I did not want to get in this industry. Because growing up, I always saw like my mom, her and I want to get our hair done, and the services were bad. Like the wait time periods were long. It was terrible. But anyways, I got in the industry because I had nothing else to do after high school.
And that's real.
I mean, it's real, right? And so, you know, my mom and dad owned the school at the time. So I'm like, well, let me just jump in here and see what I could do. And then Siobhan, she was another influence of mine as well. She tried to get me to uproot my seat, but no, I couldn't leave with her. So anyways, I stayed back.
Hey.
I stayed back. I went to school and I learned a lot. Like I feel like I'm professional. I feel like I'm a professional stylist. So I was able to identify, you know, even the girls that I was attending school with, just how they was the bomb in hairstyling, but their services was terrible.
Right.
And you know, me, I want to take a different approach, starting off early because I didn't do hair growing up. I wasn't the best stylist, but I was professional. Like I had it together.
And
So that's how I got started. And yeah, I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Love it. Shauntele, how did you get into the beauty of the business of hair?
So some people may know my story. I could not do hair before I went to hair school. I didn't know anything about hair, and I was in somebody's seat every 2 weeks prior to moving to Texas. Once I moved to Texas, I could not find a hairstylist. I'm pretty sure it was some good ones out there. I just didn't run across them. And it was, and time after time, seeing the need for hair, I was just like, dang. I was actually going to Walmart to get a trim, and I would flat iron my own hair. That's all I could.
Wow. Well, you're better than me because I can't do hair, period. That's why it's short.
But wait, let me tell my story. I ain't get to tell my story.
We was coming right on
okay,
to
go
you.
Okay.
Tynee Talks.
Tonight, okay, my bad. I'm in the seat.
So Shauntele.
Everybody be want to shine. Everybody be want to shine off.
So Shauntele, so you
actually I left corporate. I was in corporate for 13 years before I made my transition. It was actually by the grace of God, prayer. He showed me my passion, and that's how I ended up on this end. When I came into the industry, I did see that they were lacking a lot of professionalism and service. I mean, people don't understand. They were actually taking care. They were doing styling hair, but not taking care of the hair. So that was the aspect that I wanted to tap into, or the part of the industry I wanted to tap into when it came to hair. So that's how I kind of made my transition into the industry.
That's dope. I like that. So Twinkle, you got in because you said the service was unprofessional, and I like Shauntele's take on it, that the idea of taking care of hair, not just putting a bomb style on your hair and then a week later your hair is falling out, you know, the breakage, not just caring for the hair. So I love that. So Siobhan, you know, you're a nail technician.
But I ain't start there. Let me
tell us how you got where you
I'm like not Shauntele or Twinkle because I did hair. Y'all better tell them, Twinkle, I did hair. And some people might say I was better at that than I was at nails, but you know, I remember I was at the school and this girl wanted some waves and she ain't had no hair on the side and I just couldn't do it. So I was like, nah. And that was it for me. After that, I dropped out of hair school and I went to nail school and I've been doing nails ever since. But I will say this, I like how both of them said that they professional stylists. Mm-hmm. Let me hit you with this because we all look pretty different. You know what I'm saying? We all in 3 different type of settings. I consider myself a professional hood stylist. You know what I'm saying?
The best.
I'm on time. You can book on my website. I'm going to cuss your ass out if you late. I'm going to charge you. And so I'm going to be able to be all over on this podcast because I'm both of the people we finna talk about. And I'm just be real with y'all because that's why I came to tonight because she going to let me be real and we going to just put it out here.
We're going to put it out there. And I love that. I love that. First of all, I love the fact that you kept it real with the young lady who did not have enough inches to get the style that she wanted. Because y'all remember that scene on, I want to say it was Beauty Shop, but the girl came in there and she ain't had no hair, but it was a new male stylist. And she was like, I want him to do my hair. And then Reagan Gomez Preston character was like, what is he going to braid? Your eyebrows?
Yeah.
And so it's like, you got to be able to keep it real with a client and not just take their money. Right. And so I think that speaks volumes to your character because you could have taken her money and made her look a mess when she walked out that door. But you were honest and professional enough to say that, hey, this style is not meant for your hair. And a lot of people will scam you out of that.
And let me tell you how I learned that though. Big Twinkle, you know what I'm saying? Big Corinthian.
Her mom.
Her mom.
Coco. Miss Coco.
She always told me that one bad review, that one person
Hey.
gonna tell 20 more people, and them 20 people gonna at least tell 10 more people. So that's how bad that stuff was gonna
You can
circulate.
cuss on here.
Oh,
We cuss.
that's so bad. That's how bad
We
that
love
shit
God,
was
but we
gonna.
cuss.
Hey, they know I cuss. That shit was gonna circulate so bad. Oh, that Bush doing the bad weed. Like, no, we ain't gonna do that. We gotta figure something else out.
So,
But
I
you know
love
the
that
great thing
Miss-
about it's clients for everybody. Like we all have our different areas, and you know your clients, they love that about you. There's nothing wrong with that if if that's the kind of clients you have and they're willing to accept that. It's nothing. I feel like being honest, being you, and being true to your clients, that's what people love about you.
Mm-hmm. That's the number one thing of customer service. I love that you touched on that, Jiobahn, about what Miss Coco said about word to mouth advertising.
Yeah.
What people don't realize is that you can spend thousands of dollars on advertising, but that does nothing compared to that word of mouth service. And I learned that years ago. I used to work at Cedar Point Amusement Park, America's Rock and Roller Coast in Sandusky, Ohio. And that's one of the things that they told us when I worked there. You don't see a lot of commercials for Cedar Point. You may see one or twice a year, but they told us that their number one currency is their customers who walk through the gates of that park. And they said, if, like she said, one bad review, that means that they're going to tell their friends, and that's going to be bad for business. But if they have a great experience, then people are going to come back and come back. And Cedar Point is the number one roller coaster amusement park in the world to this day. And I've gone to Disney World and Disneyland, hands down, nothing beats Cedar Point, in my opinion. So if you want to go visit, that's word of mouth advertising right there, right? So my first experience going to the hairdresser in Flint, like Siobhan said, the Midwest Hair Stylist. Hair is really big in Flint, Detroit. So we used to go to the beauty school. The beauty school was a big thing. Mr. Dave's School of Beauty, School of Cosmetology, Edward School, which Creative Hair School, which Twinkle and her mother owns, well, her family owns, took over the Edward School of Cosmetology, and they bought the building in their Creative Hair School of Cosmetology. Now they're located you're on Miller Road, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They have expanded and taken. So I remember the whole experience of just going to the hairdresser. It was something that I could use as a bonding experience with my mom. I loved getting my hair shampooed, and I loved getting my scalp massage. The scalp massage was everything to me. And so that would be kind of sporadic. I had an ongoing hairstylist from the 7th grade until I was 22 years old. And her name is Brunette Jones Coleman. And she owns Net's Crown and Glory in Flint, Michigan. So if you're in the Flint area, make sure you go see her. But as Shauntele mentioned, she specialized in healthy hair. My hair was always healthy and thick. In high school, I wore the wrap, or as you could say, and she wasn't big on styling. As a teen, she wasn't going to color my hair. She was all about maintaining healthy hair. And that was just a time for us to come and bond. And I remember she told me hairstylists are like your own personal therapist. There were things that you could share with your therapist that me being a teen coming of age, maybe I didn't want to share with my mom or my friend, but you had that friend in your stylist. So my question to you ladies is, what was your first experience as a patron of services, and how did that make you feel? And we can start with Siobhan.
Baby, Twinkle about to remember this. The first time I got my hair done as an adult, not like an adult, but like getting my hair done myself. I went to, I can't even remember the name, but Menalika did my hair, and she dyed my hair red and my curls fell out. Remember that, Twinkle? And we had to get those fades after that. That was my first time going to get my hair done by myself outside of going where my mama told me to go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was a horrible experience for me. And I was like, hold on, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But after that, I picked a stylist. I learned to pick the people who could do the things that would keep my hair on my head. Because my hair done fell out like 3 times behind color.
First of all, that's important. Because if you don't do hair, keep the client's hair.
Yeah.
So they can keep coming back. Shauntele, what's your first experience?
So my first experience, my auntie, she was actually a stylist at oh my God, what was that salon on Clare Road? that Pac-Man used to work at. Miss Williams, that's where she worked at. And we would be in the salon all day. I mean, because my mom would drop me off and she would just do my hair in between clients. But when I got older and I started going to the salon by myself, my first experience, of course, my hair was fabulous, but the wait time, I did not like sitting in the salon 3 and 4 hours on a Saturday waiting for a 45-minute hairstyle. So I vowed when I became a stylist that I would not have my clients waiting to be seen 2 and 3 hours before, or have them sitting under the dryer for 2 hours and their hair already dry. So that was my experience. My hair was always healthy. It always looked nice, but that wait time, that was one thing that I just could not deal with. And I didn't realize it was something wrong with it until I got away from that.
Miss Twinkle, your first experience as a patron of getting your hair done.
Girl, it ain't a good one. So I think I was like 7 or 8, right? And I was at my grandmother's house, my dad's mom. And my parents would always take vacations and be gone. So I'm at my grandmother's house. My dad's sister is there. She swears she's a hairstylist. She was not a hairstylist. While my parents were gone, she put a relaxer in my hair without my mom's permission and changed the whole course of my hair and my whole, just that whole situation of even trying to have healthy hair. And then from that point, my mom was like, we got to get this girl hair back.
For sure.
So I always was getting braids, and y'all know I always wear braids, but from like that point on, my mom was like, we got to get your hair braided. And when I did go and get my hair done, I was in the salon, like Ms. Harvey said, for hours, just sitting there waiting. I'm a young girl in the salon for hours for no reason. Like, so it was just like a bad experience. And so that's why I didn't even want to get in this industry, because for one, my auntie took my hair out when I was 7. And then, going to salons and waiting all day. So bad experience.
Wow. So child, it can be. So sitting in the salon, right? So like I went to my stylist from 7th grade until I was 22, and she had her own salon in her basement. Like it was a full scale salon in her basement. So I didn't have to wait long periods of time. I literally was in there at most an hour and a half. But that's how she spaced it out. She was really good with time management. But my mom basically lived in the salon, okay? She would be there for hours, but she really just loved the camaraderie of it all. But sometimes it would just be back to back clients. So I want to read something from, according to Indeed.com, what the job description of a hairstylist is and what a hairstylist is supposed to do, because that is also one of the crux of this conversation. Because no shade, no tea to y'all, but y'all hairstylists, y'all profession, y'all starting to piss me off with this whole idea that y'all not about to wash people's hair.
They're starting to piss me off too. And I'm a hairstylist.
That y'all not gonna wash hair. That you gotta, the part that really pisses me off to no end is that it's an extra charge if you want to get your hair washed. So we're gonna read what you're supposed to do, okay? And it's not to y'all, because I know y'all ain't cut like that, but for the rest of the world, or stylists who may be listening to this. And also, before this show, I talked to one of my friends earlier, and she had made an appointment to get a sew-in. And when she got there, the girl was like, why your hair ain't washed?
You're right.
And she was like, well, I booked my appointment to get my sew-in. My hair is dirty. I don't want to get a sew-in with dirty hair. She was like, well, I didn't allot time for that. That's an a la carte service that you need to add on. The fuck?
Right. A la carte.
A la carte. So for the people in the back who don't know, the stylists out there who don't know, according to Indeed.com, hairstylist duties and responsibilities. Number 1, hairstylists work with customers or clients to help them achieve the look that they want. Hairstylist duties and responsibilities include, but are not limited to. And the number 1 thing on the list, guys, you can't even see it, is shampoo. That's the number 1 thing on the list. It says shampoo, cut, dye, and style hair. Apply chemicals to change texture of hair. And that's very important. Even when you go to the hair store and you see the Clairol dyes or the Dark and Lovely, it says make sure this is applied by a professional, because this is what you guys went to school for, to learn how it works with hair textures, pH balance, all of that. It says that a hairstylist works with razors, trimmers, and other implements to achieve a desired look. Give clients advice on how to maintain a hairstyle or look. Style clients for special events such as weddings and photo shoots. Order and maintain supplies for hairstyling and coloring, which means as a client, I shouldn't have to bring my own stuff unless I want to.
Yeah.
and,
And Suave is not a professional shampoo.
and it's not.
Period. Not even the one that say professional.
Or
Not even the
Tresemme.
brown one.
Or
And I
Tresemme.
said what I said.
What?
Or
Chantel, you said or
Dove.
Tresemme?
Right.
Right.
Or
Or
Dove.
Dove.
It says ensure work areas are clean and in alignment with applicable health and safety regulations, hairstylist skills and qualifications. Successful hairstylists have training and experiences. Hairstylists also need a wide range of skills unique to the trade, such as knowledge of hairstyles, trends, and expertise to achieve these goals. Experience using different types of scissors, trimmers, and other tools to create hairstyles. Knowledge of chemicals for hairstyles, including coloring agents and solutions that change their hair texture. A willingness to learn about new styles and techniques. And that's what I respect about Shauntele and Twinkle. You guys are always sharing, different classes you're attending to be up to date on what's happening with hair. I love that. The ability to communicate with customers and understand their needs. So what do y'all say about that? Does that entail what stylists do? And would you say that your colleagues adhere to what was just read?
Who want to go first?
So the colleagues in my salon, they adhere to what was read. I think it's foolish for a person to even spend 8 coins with somebody that's not willing to wash their hair. You're not getting my funds. I'm not the hairstylist. You're the hairstylist. How can I guarantee? So what a lot of people don't understand with the sew-in, your hair is going up in the sew-in for 2 months. So if I tell you to come with your hair wash, first of all, I don't know what you put on your hair. I don't know if your hair has the proper nutrients, vitamins that's needed to get your hair healthy during those 2 months while it's in a sew-in. And I don't know what's going on with the products you use. So I'm just putting it up. I mean, I don't care about your hair if I'm allowing you to wash it at home, come in my salon, and then I sew it up. So with all my services, a shampoo is required. You're gonna pay for it. If you come in with your hair wash, I'm gonna rewash your hair before I put it up. It's just a part of the service I offer. It's no way that I can guarantee you healthy hair if I did not put the products on your hair prior to putting it up in a sew-in. It's crazy, and to me, it's lazy.
Yeah, I want to say something real quick. So, working in the beauty school, I feel like when students come into school, they're here to build up their confidence, right? So the shampoo service is that part where you're going to connect with your clients. Like that's when your client's going to be able to tell if you know what you're doing. If you're giving a timid shampoo service, they gonna know, no, she ain't solid. So you cannot skip that process. That's part of the bonding. That's part of the connecting with you and your clients. And I feel like a lot of times today, a lot of the stylists aren't interested in connecting with the clients. They just want the dollars. It's not about getting to know the client, their hair history. What do we need to do to correct your issues, or how can I treat your hair, according to what you want? That's where it starts, at the shampoo bowl. So stylists that are telling their clients to come already shampooed, to me, that's disrespecting the industry, because now you're not professional, period. You're just not professional. If I gotta come shampooed.
You're right. And Corinthian, one and a bigger thing about this, when people come in, everyone gets a consultation in my salon. We go over your hair, what kind of medication you on, what you done in the last 5 years to your hair. I need to know.
Wait, did you say what type of medication you're on?
Yeah, what type of medication? I need to know what type of medication you're taking. I need to know, because I'm able to look at the scalp and see if it's spots on it, or if you have lupus, or if you have thyroid. I can look at your scalp and tell you that. Well, then when you see, but you may have oil or buildup on your hair. So when you go to my shampoo bowl and I do a clarifying on you, that's when I can tell if your hair is lacking moisture, lacking protein, what your hair needs. What do I need to feed your hair so that it continues to grow? I don't know that until I remove every product that you have from your hair. So if I'm skipping that step, then I'm skipping hair care, period.
That's good.
Okay, so I like what y'all did just now.
Didn't it? Wasn't it great?
It was great. I'm finna go all the way away from that though, because I feel like it's two different type of stylists,
Mhm.
and I think it's two different type of customers that we're coming up on right now. We got the regular stylists, then we got the Insta kind. We got the Insta famous
Oh yeah,
kind.
Mhm.
You know what
right
I'm
about
saying?
that.
We got the kind that's gonna give you the look, and then we got the kind that's gonna take care of your hair. And I think often the Insta kind overshadow the real hairdressers because of what they put forward. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows all the salons that I worked in. I ain't got to name none of them, but they'll see that hair on today and they won't see those edges gone when they come in to get that hair glued back on. So that's, you know, and how y'all talk about how, you know, they don't really tell you how to maintain your hair when you getting all that stuff done. They're not telling you if your hair gonna fall out. And then most of the time, like I said, that foundation is everything. They not connecting with you because they don't know nothing about you. They ain't asking about your hair. They come, girl, this girl had the audacity to tell us to have the hair braided already for the sew-in.
Where?
It had
On
to
your
be
scalp?
washed and braided. I said, how, Sway? I said, how she gonna have the hair braided already? And you don't even know if she having leave out, if she getting, how is she supposed to have the hair braided? So I think the foundation and then a lot of these girls ain't even going to school, so they don't know the proper foundation. They just getting good at hair, and people
Right.
tell them they good at hair, and they doing hair, and that's just it. We just doing hair. We ain't washing hair. We're not hairstylists. We just doing hair, and I don't understand it. I don't even know what just doing hair is.
All right. So there was a lot of information shared. I really loved how Shauntele said, I'm able to pick up
Has
on,
really.
I think Shauntele cut out.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. So yeah, I really love how you just touched on just being able to see health implications based on a person's scalp, based on their skin, because as it relates to the integumentary system, right? Hair, skin, and nails is all a part of it. That's included in your education and learning about being a cosmetologist as opposed to just doing hair, as Siobhan says. So I really
doing nails.
Yes, I do nails. And we're going to have all of their information down in the show notes below. So make sure that you go and follow them because they know what they're talking about. We're running out of time here, guys. We're recording. But I want to ask before we go, what are some best practices that stylists and clients should adhere to from you guys' perspective? And we can start with Corinthian.
Well, first, I'm going to say I feel that all stylists should do consultations. That should be first and foremost when you're taking on any client, even your older clients, the ones that come regularly. You should still be able to sit down with them and have a conversation about their maintenance, their practices, and all those things, and be professional. As a stylist, you have to be professional. If you're asking people for their money, you're providing a service. You have to know what you're doing and know your stuff. And then when it comes down to clients, clients are going to have their expectations, period. Like they're going to walk into an establishment or wherever you are, and they're going to, expect to be treated professionally, not looked down up on for whatever reason, if they have hair conditions or if they, just, they're going to have their thing. But clients should, just be graceful with your stylist. If you see she's trying and you see that she is doing her best to provide a good service, and if there's something that you want to tell her. Don't run to the streets and put it on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff.
Right.
Her know, like, hey, look, I came and, I didn't like this particular part about your service, or could we change this and that? Just, keep it professional.
Shauntele, what say you?
For clients, I would say make sure you ask questions to your stylist. I just honestly feel like no one should have to pay for a 15-minute consultation to be educated. That's our job. My job is this. When I know every client that comes through my door and I do a consultation with them, they're going to come back for a service. That's just guaranteed at the end of the day, unless they want something extreme that I don't offer. But if you're a client and you want to grow your hair back and you care about your hair, I don't have to charge you $20, $25 for a 15-minute consultation, because guess what? I'm gonna make thousands of dollars off of you over time. So sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture. So make sure that they're educating you, you're asking the right questions, and you're happy with the services being provided. If you're not, then don't continue to go and spend your money. And also be on time for your appointments, just like you want a stylist to be on time for you.
Before you finish with that, I wanted to segue into one question before we run out of time about being on time. How should you as the stylist, or how should the client be compensated when they're on time and then the stylist is like super behind and didn't warn them, didn't let them know? How is that handled, or how should it be, in your opinion, how should it be standardized across the board?
So for me, I definitely always try to catch my clients before they get here, but sometimes things happen. So I'll try to let them know, because most of the time they want to stop and get something to eat. They're coming from work, or they want to stop at the mall or something. So that gives them time. If I cannot catch them and they have to wait longer than 15 minutes, I actually provide them with a complimentary service, or I'll take something off their ticket.
Yeah.
Because I feel like no one should have to wait on me to pay me.
Yep.
That's right.
That's good.
I love that. That was great. And what say you about that?
I want to say that stylists, about the laws that they should go by, they need to learn to say no. If you booked up, say no.
Yes.
If you can't provide the service, say no. There's nothing wrong with telling somebody, hey, I'm not comfortable doing that. That's not what I do. That's not my thing. That's not my style. Don't take my money when you can't give me my service. That's just what that is. You know what I'm saying? And then I also want the patrons, like Shauntele said, start asking these hoes questions. Bro,
clients, not hoes.
No, these stylists. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who know me know I call everybody a hoe. Niggas, girls, mamas, daddies, everybody's a hoe. That's what it is. Ask these hoes questions. You know what I'm saying? Because these hoes ask me questions, and I'm gonna read your website. As a consumer, you need to read. Most people have all that stuff plastered all over. You know what I'm saying? Read, and if you want to get a service, hey, drop that deposit. That lets me know you coming. That secures your spot, and that secures my time. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta look for somebody that's giving you what you want to have, and don't pay nobody who not giving you what you want to have, because that's your money. You paying these people $200 and $300, and I know for me, most people leave the nail spot paying me $100. Get what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get what you want to get while you're here. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm the ghetto girl and the regular girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be on time for my appointment. You know, it might be some fugazi going on in the process, but I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it.
And she's personable.
And I'm personable, and they love me. And,
that's right.
And look for somebody that you want to build a relationship with, not just somebody you want to do your hair one time. A lot of these new girls don't understand that a part of being in the game 15 and 20 years is a relationship with a person. It's business over time. It's someone becoming your client, and not just someone who's coming to get their nails done. It's you know, I see a lot of times these new girls, they don't even do fill-ins. You know what I'm saying? So that's how do you expect somebody to be a repeat person when you want $200 and $300 from every time they come? So just know what you're signing up for. If you want to just get you something for the weekend and try you something new, that's fine. But if you're looking for somebody to take care of you, because your hair, your nails, your skin, that's a part of your body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you're spending hundreds of dollars on it.
Right.
Yes.
I think that was just wonderful advice, wonderful insight. And before we close out, I just want to thank you ladies for what you do and what you do for women. And I close out with a story about that connection and that clientele and building a relationship over years. My mom passed on, but the stylist she was going to, she had been going to her since the mid 90s. And my mother ended up losing her job. She ended up having to get a lawsuit against her job, and she lost her job December of 2012. So she was getting no income. She couldn't get unemployment, any of that, because of the lawsuit. During that, from 2013 from January 2013 until August 2014, when my mom was able to win her lawsuit, her hairdresser did my mom's hair for free. Shout out to Tarika, AKA China Dow. She did her hair for free, sometimes twice a week, because over the years, they looked out for each other. They maintained a relationship with one another. If my mom got extra money, she would give it to her, all of this. And you want to know, when my mom won her lawsuit, Tarika was blessed. And I mean blessed. So that's what it means. It's not all about taking somebody's money. It's about making people feel good also too in their lowest moments. And my mom was in her lowest moment during that time. And she even, did her hair in the grave, when it came to Moon to the funeral home to do her hair. And that's what it's all about. And so thank you, ladies, for your time. In true Tynee Talks fashion, this is your time to give your shout out. And I just hope that today's talk is helpful to that young stylist out there that's trying to build and be in the game for a long time. So we got 1 minute. Shauntele, give your shout out.
Shout out to my clients. Thanks, Tynee, for having me. I appreciate you, ladies. You can find us at Bundles Luxury Hair Co. online. We're located at 13740 Midway Road in Farmers Branch, Texas. Follow us on IG at Bundles Luxury Hair Co. That's it.
Shout out to my mom, my brother, and everyone at Creative Hair School, all the beauty school students out there. Shout out to you guys. When you enter the world, be successful and use your tools.
Hey, follow me online. Y'all know I'm thugging at Yes I Do Nails, the beauty boutique. Thank you, Tynee, for having me. Thank y'all for touching on this subject. If y'all still listening live, we still live on my Facebook page. Me and Tynee gonna talk a little bit more, and we're gonna take some questions from the people that's viewing. And just, hey, more hair, grow hair.
More hair, grow hair.